Okay. And all right. And we go live in three, two, one. And we are live at the Seattle International Auto Show. Good morning, New York. Vinnie here, Drivetime Radio, as we come to you a little earlier than usual this morning. And if you have missed any part of this show, we will repeat it in its entirety at 11 o'clock. So don't worry if you missed the beginning of it or you turn on your computer and I'm there scaring you this early in the morning. We are in the mezzanine level of the Lumen Field Event Center, a beautiful venue where this show has been for last several years that I can remember, as long as I've been doing it, which is, as I say, a number of years. We've been here, and the staff is great. The people here at the Washington State Dealers Association are always kind to us and wonderful, and the cars are on the floor. What's neat about this show is that you have the opportunity not only to look at the cars, but if you just go out front on Occidental, where all the hot dog guys are, and the sports shops, they have a lineup of cars out there, and you can sign up to drive. Many of the cars that you see on the show floor are out there to be test driven, so you can do that. And also, because we now Seattle loves electric cars so much, they've continued the electric highway, which is indoors. So you don't even have to get wet to get in one of these cars and drive them. You can just go in the second hall, exhibition hall back there in the lower part of the exhibition center and jump in an electric car and drive that around a track and speak to an expert who knows about the cars, knows about the different phases and facets of driving an electric car and owning an electric car. Tom VOELK will be with us a little bit later. He's even conducting seminars here at 1 o'clock today and tomorrow. And among those subject covered in the seminars is what's the truth and what's the bull crap about electric cars. What do what is the actual thing and what's the hype? What's the truth? Where does it all lie? Tom knows this stuff. Most credible journalists know this stuff, but Tom, who has his own YouTube channel, Driven, knows about as much as about anybody. When I'm looking for answers, I call him up and say, Tom, what do you think? And he tells me, and we go on from there. But he has the lowdown on this stuff, so we will get a chance to catch up with him a little bit later. We're also going to take a walk around the exhibition floor. We'll show you some of the vehicles that are out there. And we also have a man who is sitting here with us, whose face you can see, the quite handsome Scott Brown from Stellantis, who is a longtime friend. I mean, I think him and I'll tell you how long I know Scott Brown. I remember talking to him about why aren't they going to make a Charger, not a Charger, a convertible out of the Charger back in like 2001 when they started
probably
rolling.
And not that long ago, Vinny.
2010, huh? Okay. Can they make a convert? Even if they do one, will they do one for me? Will they special order one? Well, they didn't, but they've been widely successful, really successful with those cars. And he joins us now, Scott Brown. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Good to see you, Vinny.
Good to see you too. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes out to jump on with us. You've got some new stuff to show here. I mean, a couple of cars that, except for a couple of special events, I haven't seen before and haven't had a chance to drive yet. At least, a Cherokee I haven't, definitely. And it looks like these are a couple of cars that Stellantis, who we always hear stuff on the news about, the automotive world, that it's struggling and doing this and doing that. But these two cars look like the Cherokee, especially looks like one that that Stellantis is saying, we're going to give you our best shot. We're going to show you what we got. We got some stuff in the toolkit, and we're going to whip it out. We're going to show it to you, and we're going to have it here at the auto show. And I noticed yesterday crowds around both of those cars. a lot of interest among the buying public in both of those vehicles.
Yeah, well, the Charger. I'll finish with the Charger, but starting with the Cherokee. I mean, that's a big deal. It competes in the midsize SUV segment, which is the largest SUV segment, huge volumes. The Rav4s. The Honda. Can't even remember the Honda, but anyway, huge.
The Pilot, I think, right? Is it
in the Pilot? It's the CRV.
Yeah.
But so we've been out of that market, out of that segment for about 3 years. The last Cherokee left the market in 2023. We're back. It's this time it's a hybrid. It's a full hybrid. It's our first pure hybrid. Which means it's not a plug-in hybrid. We've got Grand Cherokee plug-in hybrids. We've got a Wrangler plug-in hybrid. Both of those get about 25 miles of range, and then the gas motor kicks in. This Cherokee is a pure hybrid, which just means you've got smaller electric motors, a much smaller battery. So you're not hauling a big battery, heavy battery around. And you have electric motors that assist the gas motor. They work in parallel, so to speak.
Right.
That vehicle will get about 37 miles per gallon combined. It's got about a 500-mile range. It's boxy. It's kind of got some styling cues from the traditional Cherokee, the Cherokee that everybody remembers from the 2000, in the 1990s, right? Lots of room inside. It's got the Jeep capability. It's got the active drive 4x4 system. So in several different modes from rock this one doesn't have rock. It will when we get the Trailhawk, but, snow, mud, sport. So a capable, fun to drive, lots of capability. So it's good to have that vehicle back in the market.
Yeah, I would have to think that, it's odd to think of Jeep not in every segment of the all-wheel drive market, the four-wheel drive market. It's like they invented the damn market.
Right. No. Yeah. And obviously, we still feel like we kind of lead that market with vehicles like Grand Cherokee, right? Grand Wagoneer, Wrangler, Gladiator. But yeah, we need this vehicle. We need the segment. Our dealerships are screaming for it. Consumers are screaming for it. We're about a month away from that showing up in dealer lots. But yeah, people can get a good look at it now at the auto show, which is awesome. Vinnie, man, there's a lot of things at the auto show that are kind of new to the market. The Grand Cherokee that's on the show floor is a refreshed Grand Cherokee. It's got a new fascia. It is our plug-in hybrid version, but for 26, it gets a slight update. The Grand Wagoneer is on the show floor. That also gets an update. Wagoneer goes away. Everything becomes Grand Wagoneer. All of those, long wheelbase, regular wheelbase, new fascia on that. There's a Ram 1500 with the Hemi engine in it. The Hemi returns, right, in our full-size trucks.
Right, which is a big deal for truck people. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to, especially gathered around that red, white, and blue, because you guys are the official, like, America 250 year sponsor. And what better truck but that truck to, the Hemi and, the thought comes into people's minds. And now it gets transferred to a whole new generation of people who listen. They love the internal combustion engine. They want that power. They want that, that thrill of driving this engine that, they see old videos of the Ram Chargers, and and they which the name Ram really kind of comes from. And they look and they go, my God, I never even knew that they could do that with a pickup truck. And here it is right in front of you at the auto show.
Yeah, we've got these Hurricane motors that have replaced the Hemi in a lot of our products, right? And it's a cleaner burning motor. It's more efficient, but it's a twin turbo inline six, right? And when it comes to trucks, big V8s just work better for towing, right? It would work better. The torque bands come on lower. It feels good. For us, it's about consumer choice, right? It's giving consumers the choice to choose what they want, whether it's an electric vehicle, whether it's a Hemi, whether it's an inline turbo motor, whether it's a plug-in hybrid, whether it's a hybrid. Give them. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me just volume.
The Cherokee there, nice.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, we've been talking about it, and there's the look at, and look at the lines on this thing. I mean, it's real. And I'm a former Cherokee owner. I mean, I had a 90, I forget what it was, a 91, 92 that square body that
Yeah.
became a classic. And this kind of has a lot of those cues in
Right.
it, the squarish body and the space inside. I was surprised at how much space was in the inside of this vehicle for the size it is.
Right. That's when you square things up, that makes much more usable space inside. And it seems like there's this trend with especially with the SUVs, they look like bubbles, right? They're rounded, and you take the badge off, you don't even know what they are, but you lose
Yeah.
interior space, you lose an identity. That definitely has a Jeep face, definitely has a lot of room inside. Back seat is huge, seats all fold flat. But then the price point's going to be under $40,000, probably $37,000, and great fuel economy. And the range, it's going to get about 500 miles in range, per tankful, which is, especially you guys in the Northwest, you're driving places, right? It's,
Yeah.
sometimes you think of Seattle as just an urban city, but I mean, you guys got a state that people are going places, and want range.
Yeah, I mean, the typical trip here is, you get on I-90 and you're doing a couple of 100 miles.
Right.
If you're going out, even out to, you take your kid to school out at Wazoo. Well, that's a 300-mile trip. You're going over to cousins in Spokane. That's a 275-mile trip.
Right.
There aren't a lot of short distances in the
Right.
Northwest. I mean, you know this territory. It's just not a lot of. So you want. Obviously, range, if you're talking about an electric, mileage, if you're talking about an internal combustion, and you want comfort. And it looks like it again. This is a new vehicle. It's the first time many people are seeing this thing. It looks like you guys have been able to pack a lot of that into this.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's got over 140, standard safety features. So it's got everything that people would expect from a safety standpoint. The collision monitoring, the blind spot monitors, the drowsy driver, all of that stuff. But yeah, Jeep capability, great range, great fuel economy, decent price. We're ready for it to hit the market. Our dealers are. Consumers have been asking for it.
How does this in this crowded market, and we're talking about how everybody seems to have something. What's the one factor that I can tell? Somebody asked me, well, why should I buy this Cherokee? Why should I go back to Jeep? I drove a Hyundai for the last few years, or this or that or the other thing. Why should I go back over to Cherokee? What am I telling them? What's the what makes this vehicle, in your thoughts, better than anything comparable in its class?
Well, I mean, it deserves a look. I mean, like you say, we started the segment. It's got the capability. It's got a decent price. It's got great fuel economy. It's got great range. It checks a lot of different boxes, and so it absolutely deserves a look. There's a lot of good cars out there, but this absolutely deserves a look. We've got great dealerships, yeah, I urge people to give it a shot.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, come down to, especially if you're in this market that you're thinking about, come by and take a look at this, and you can compare it to other vehicles on the floor if you want, and you get a first look. And it's interesting. You come to the auto show and you get to see it before anybody else on your block, because these aren't on the dealers' lots yet. Your neighbor can't say, "Oh, I went by the Jeep dealer the other day, and there was the new Cherokee sitting out front." They're not out there yet. This is the only place really that I know of that you're going to see it before anybody else. And I
Right.
think, Scott, you tell me if I'm wrong, it's still cool to see the new cars before your friends do.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, that's always one of the great things about an auto show, right? Number one, you guys are dry. Not that not that little rain ever bothered anybody in Seattle, but yeah, you've got a low pressure, nice inside location to kick tires and look at things and sit. And if you want to drive a few, you can. So there's no better place than an auto show. That's why we're there. That's why we support the Seattle Auto Show, is because it is a great environment for people to come out and take a look at things.
Yeah, it really is, and this is going to be. I mean, all the Jeeps are especially nice vehicles, comfortable vehicles, But this is as we talked about a few seconds ago. This is the one that was kind of sticking out as missing from the lineup, and you
Oh,
now
yeah.
fill that. And I think this is going to be a successful vehicle for you guys. I think it's. I'm kind of excited about it. And again, I have I'm a former Cherokee owner, so I know this vehicle a little bit and the history of the vehicle and how durable and be comfortable and see it's just that before everybody had one of these, Jeep had this one. And again, I go back to that square body that I loved that car. I mean, when I sold that car, I had to pry it out of my hands.
Right.
It was just one of those. It's interesting, Jeeps, and you work with people all the time with these vehicles. It isn't just a car. It seems to become a Jeep, a friend, a member of your family in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we still have a 2000 Cherokee that both my daughters learned to drive in, and I'm not allowed to get rid of it, right? Anyway, yeah, definitely. That's one of the great things about working for Stellantis is we have brands like Jeep, like Dodge, like Ram. We don't make appliances, right? We make passion plays. We build vehicles that people are proud to own, and we have a lot of fun doing that. And that Charger, definitely, the Chargers. We got an electric Charger on the floor, right? And we've got a nice Charger, an internal combustion. And going back to that customer choice, if we're going to move electrification past kind of the early adopters and the tech people, right? I think last year for 2024 registrations, hybrid and electrification nationwide were about 14%. If you're going to move past, kind of the early adopters, there's got other offerings for people, right? So the Charger is basically, it's a full-size American muscle car that just happens to be powered by either electrification or by gas. So you have your choice. Both of them are phenomenal vehicles, right? The only way you can really tell the difference is one's got a fin in the front because you don't need to have this big bulge where the motor sits, and one's going to have a little bit of a bulge in the hood. But the gas version is, at the top end, it's a 550 horsepower, twin turbo inline six Hurricane motor. The electric version is 670 horsepower. Both are all-wheel drive. You two-door or four-door, both look, like a muscle car, right? Not an appliance. So, we urge people to check those out. The gas version comes out this fall or a little bit later this year, probably right about now, actually. We just did the drive on that with that vehicle with the media in Tennessee. But yeah, fun vehicles and great for the market.
Scott Brown from Stellantis is with us. He is the man that knows everything about Stellantis and about Dodge and Jeep and Ram and all of the different vehicles that they put out on the road. How does it feel for you as a car guy to have a two-door and a four-door in the same car line? I mean, that's a long time since that's happened, right?
Well, so, I mean, you guys, Vinnie, this. The original Charger was a two-door, full-size two-door vehicle. Right? And we caught flack for years that the Charger, we brought back the Challenger, which was the two-door. I mean, when the Charger came back, it came back as a four-door. And obviously the market has changed. The family car market is four doors. There's very few two doors, right? I mean, I applaud Honda for bringing out the Prelude. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the lines on that vehicle are just beautiful. So it's fun. And our consumers want a two-door. It's not going to be a high volume car, but they scream that. And that harkens back. There's a lot of heritage cues on that. Our designers did an unbelievable job, both on the outside and the inside. The inside is phenomenal. So I love, and again, we're going back to choice. Customers deserve a choice. And so they want a two-door, we've got it. They want a four-door, we've got it. They want BEV, battery electric, gets about 250 miles of range with unbelievable performance, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Or they get the ICE motor, the gas motor, up to 550 horsepower.
when you get the electric in these things, do people? I mean, I remember they've tried all different kinds of things to try to give the car kind of the texture of a gasoline engine vehicle. Some of them, I don't think many of them worked like they wanted them to. But when somebody that's a gasoline vehicle person gets into one of these cars and it's electric, but yet it curls their socks when they hit the gas pedal or the accelerator. Is that resistance wearing down a little bit that you see, or are people still kind of, well, I need the sound of the Hemi. I need the sound of, of the pistons, slapping back and forth in the engine block for it to be a valid car for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And when people drive electric cars, right, you realize honestly just how fun they are. It's not if you can just set aside, oh, it's a green car and it gets good mileage and but you turn all that aside. They're fun vehicles to drive. We don't think we're going to replace people's muscle cars, right? But this is something that could be in addition to what they have in their stable, right? These are simpler to maintain, and you're going to start to see electric powertrains to replace some of the classic gas motors in some of the old vehicles, because again, they want the look, they want the feel. But sometimes they don't want the hassles of that gas motor. I think you're alluding, we've got on this vehicle, on the BEV charger, we've got what we call fratsonic exhaust, right? And that's something where, electric cars are quiet, but we have to have them make some kind of noise so that they warn pedestrians, right? So pedestrians can, we take the noises that the electric motors make and we amplify them, kind of like an organ. And we call it the fratsonic exhaust, and you can pick different modes, but if you want to hear something, you can turn on the fratsonic exhaust, you can turn it off if you want the stealth mode. But again, hey, if our customer wants a little bit of noise, because part of owning a Dodge, especially a muscle car, is the visceral feel, right? It's the sound, it's the feel, it's everything. And so you can get that with this vehicle.
Yeah, see, that's the great thing, is you get a chance to experience that. So even if you're a younger person that doesn't have that experience behind you of the internal combustion engine, you at least have a chance to to have that sound, that texture. I call it texture of driving a car, because cars do have kind of a feeling to them, even to the point of when you drive different makes of cars, there's a certain feel that car has from a different manufacturer. It's not as pronounced as I think it used to be when we were younger, but still, this is a car that you're driving a Dodge. There's no doubt in your mind that you're driving a Dodge if you get in this car and you look at it, which, it's been a while since we've had. I mean, you still have it with the Porsches and stuff like that, but that's kind of gone out of the American car scene for a long time. That identity of I know what kind of car this is just by sliding behind the wheel. This car, you're not going to make a mistake of what you're driving. You're not going to think you're driving something else. This is it. This is and is for consumers, maybe it brings back a lot of brand pride that people used to have in their cars.
Yeah, it's not an appliance, right? We want to make a statement with it. Right? Our consumers want us to make a statement with it. So loud and proud.
What's this going to rock me if I go down to the? And I know I get the Scott discount if I go down, which I think is $1,380 off. But are these unattainable cars, or are these cars that reasonably, if I make a good living, I can go in a dealership and buy one?
Right. The BEV, the battery electric version starts about $60,000, and then the gas one starts about $55,000.
Yeah, so that's an attainable number. I mean, it's I mean, when I take a look at some of the cars out here, you know, you go a little bit a little bit crazy when you see some of the price tags. But this is something that $55,000. I mean, that's not a lot more than a high end Volkswagen, right, or a high end you know um Chevy or Ford or any other vehicle. It's not like you're saying I got to plop down 90 grand for one of these things.
Right.
It's an attainable vehicle.
Right. Yeah. No. Hey, and I mean, come on. There's cars have gotten expensive, and that is something that we're really looking at. Jeep has had a big reposition, looking at bringing vehicles down. There are vehicles in the market that, the Fiat 500, which we have on the show floor there, starts around $30,000 for, and that's a great city car. But yeah, that's definitely something that we look at because, electrification is expensive, right? One of the things that's one of the negatives is that it is expensive. But we definitely we work on that.
I mean, has electrification caused autonomous driving to suffer? I mean, have we kind of fallen behind in that area, or are those programs still happening, and are we still going to see more of that as we go on?
Hey, you're throwing a football at me that I probably don't want to catch.
Right. But if you don't want to catch it, let it go by. If it's a bad pass, that's okay. But I've asked, I've had a few people ask me that question of, does this mean that I'm not going to be able to drive a car or have a car drive me to the store? And I said, well, look, Waymo's still out there. There's all different kinds of vehicles with a lot of different autonomous driving facets in them that are on the road already. So obviously they haven't stopped doing it because they've gone into electrification at some point in the past.
Right. A lot of the things from autonomous vehicles, and I feel we tend to go through cycles, and there becomes these hot flash points where we focus on certain technologies for typically about 5 years, it seems like. And if you go back, you can kind of see these cycles. We went through like E85, right, was a big deal for a while, right? And, we had fuel cells were a big deal, and natural gas cars were a big deal, and electric cars were a hot point. And then we've moved to autonomous. We're kind of moving away from autonomy. Now, the reality is autonomy has brought a lot of safety features that have kind of trickled out of autonomy, right? And have become standard safety features on cars. You look at level 2 plus, right, which is a safety standard. You've adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitors, lane keep, all of those things, and advanced lane keep. Autonomous vehicles have not gone away. The technology is going to continue to get better. But I don't think what people realize is that, man, the human mind still does a better job at processing, certain things. And so I'm one of those guys. I love the autonomy. I love what it's done. I love the technology that it's brought and the safety that it's brought. But man, you look at all of the circumstances, the weather that you guys have. You look at roads and the signage and even the stripes on the road affect autonomous cars, right? Autonomous car works perfect in perfect conditions. You get out onto a rural road where you don't have those stripes painted on the road. You get snowstorms. You get but they will get better. So is it going to go away? No. Is it going to continue to get better? Absolutely. I don't know when that point will be. Just kind of like electrification right now. It's slowing down a little bit, probably to a more natural progression. As technology develops, batteries become smaller, become more efficient, become much lighter. Some of the batteries that we're hauling around on vehicles right now is amazing, right? There's batteries on pickup trucks and big trucks that weigh more than an entire car, right? So you're spending a ton of energy just to haul energy around. It's like a semi just so you can haul the energy to drive that semi, right? And so things are going to get better. We're going to progress a little bit slower. More of a natural progression, more of a natural development instead of being forced by politicians. But We'll get there.
It's amazing because it always seems when the politicians get involved, and I don't want to go off into a whole political thing here, but when you let the engineers build the cars, it's kind of like in the 70s when you had the salespeople building the cars and the accountants building the cars. The product kind of went down a lot. When you have politicians trying to build cars, generally the product goes down a lot. The quality, the innovation. When you let the engineers go at it at their natural pace, it's amazing what kind of comes out, right?
Yeah, no, I'm a firm believer is that you need the politicians, because sometimes we do need the direction, right? You need the engineers, right. You do need the consumers, because we can't force consumers to buy things they don't want. So you have to listen to them, right? So all of these things have to work together, and for us to be really successful, all of us have to work together and kind of mold the direction.
Right.
It's not one or the other. It's together.
Well, it's coming at you so furiously and fast right now that it's, that there's every time you pick up a car well, you don't pick up car magazines anymore. Every time you log on to a site, you're seeing something that you've never seen before. You're seeing something that this engine, this transmission, this drive system, it's just the technology is going and blowing past you at a rate that's unbelievable. What anything else you can tell me about Stellantis? I know you can't tell me about new stuff, but is the company healthy? Everything going good?
We're having fun. We've got the right people in place. We're making good decisions, and we're having fun. Next week at LA, we're going to show a new product from Jeep. We've got a lot of good things coming, and we're having a lot of fun, and I think you guys will see that.
Good. Well, obviously I'm a Scott Brown fan, but I'm also a fan of Stellantis. I just think that, and Chrysler and Jeep and Dodge and, I still have a Slant 6 model somewhere in my in my stuff that I packed away, so you want to see the company survive. It's such a piece, even though it's a foreign company, it's such a piece of America. They have such a piece of the automotive landscape of America from back, you go all the way back to the Dodge brothers in the last century, but all of the performance stuff in the Hemis and the cars that we've seen, the Chargers, the Challengers, the Dusters, you're not going to do another Duster anytime soon, are you?
Hey, we got the name. Why not? Come on. Would you rather see like all of these alphanumeric things that mean nothing? We're lucky that we've got this heritage with all of these great names. And hey, you may not like Duster, someone else does. We've pulled out Hornet, we've pulled out Dart, we've pulled out a lot of stuff. We have a great heritage.
You do a Duster or a Demon, I'm down at the dealership. You put a 340 Demon out, and I'm ready to go.
Right.
I got my checkbook with me. Scott, it's good to see you, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to see you.
And I'm sure that we will cross paths soon. If I don't see you beforehand, happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Thanksgiving, I should say, and Merry Christmas and all of that stuff. And it's good to see your smiling face, man.
It's good to see you as well, Vinnie. Thank you for the time.
All right, Scott, you take care of yourself. Scott Brown from Stellantis, who is joining us, who has joined us, and we thank him for that. A lot of good stuff here at the auto show. The Stellantis stand, the Ram and the Dodge, and even the Alfa Romeo. They have an Alfa Romeo, a couple of Alfa Romeos on the floor. For a company that a lot of people say, well, we don't know what's going to happen. They got a pretty big footprint here at the auto show. We are at, as I'm sure you know, and if you don't, the Seattle International Auto Show. It's running today, opens at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow opens at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, a little bit shorter hours. I think they're running till 6 tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. And it's raining out. So what better place could you go? Be inside, hang out, take a look at some of the great vehicles that are on the floor at the auto show and out in the street. Again, as I said before, you can, Occidental is a test drive mecca. We do an event every year, the NWAPA, which is our trade association. We do an event every year called Drive Revolution. And we gather 25 cars together and we all drive them. We have 25 drivers and we drive them all day and run through them and check them out and score them and everything. Well, Occidental Street looks like your invitation to Drive Revolution. Occidental Street looks like if you come down here and you come into the show and you sign up for test drives, there are just so many vehicles out here that you can take a look at and you can drive, compare, look at. And, it's interesting because there's vehicles out here that you might not generally see all over the place. One of them that I'm looking at is it's a vehicle that I've been very enamored of is the Ineos Grenadier. I got a couple of friends, our adventurers from the show have driven one of these things up to, I think they went up to the North Pole in one or something like that. And this thing is like, it's a dream vehicle. I mean, if you are looking for something that's going to go over the road, something that's going to go off the road, something that's going to go in climates that you might not particularly, want to drive a regular vehicle in, this vehicle is going to take you through it and around it. And it's one of those vehicles that you don't hear a lot about. But if you are in the market for that type of vehicle, it's here on the floor. And there's the pickup version of it, and there is the SUV version of it. And the one thing I like about the Ineos, and this is this was something that flipped me out the first time I got in one. The guy that owns that is one of the investors in Ineos is a bicycle guy. He's ridden bicycles all his life. He's a somebody who participates in races and marathons and things like that. And he's acutely aware of the problem that people have with coexisting with bicycles on the road. And what this guy did is when he invested money in his company, he made sure that there was a button put in on the steering wheel of this car that a driver could hit and warn a bicyclist that they were coming, that they were in the area, that the bicyclist could be made aware of the vehicle approaching them. And it's just a button that you hit on the steering wheel. I'd never seen anything like that. But this is automotive stuff in the 2020s, is that there's more of an awareness of safety, of coexisting with other types of vehicles on the road. And I just thought this is something that really kind of blew me away the first time I got into a Grenadier and drove it and just saw that button. I was like, what in the heck is this? There's a little button in there with a bicycle on it. What possible purpose could that serve? And Colleen from Ineos explained to me the whole story. And I think it was one of the fascinating stories that you'll hear when you come down to the auto show, if you participate, especially in one of the tours, the private tours that are going on, which are, something you don't get at every auto show. You don't get a chance to.
What a great segue.
How do you like that? I've been in this radio thing a while, so they teach in radio school how to switch from.
See, I'm in television, and but oh well. Hi, folks.
It's my friend Tom VOELK. He is here with us. I know our friend KRISTIN is roaming around somewhere as well.
Yes.
And you guys are giving. I was talking about the tours. Uh, if you want to feel like a VIP, you can come down to the auto show. Are you booked up with tours, or do you still have some openings? Still have openings. So you can come down here today, bring your family, sign up for a tour, and Tom or KRISTIN will take you around the auto show and explain to you and give you the knowledge of their particular car, of the particular car that you might be interested in, or all of them. Plus, at 1:00 each day, there is a seminar that Tom is doing that says that you come down and you hang out and you can ask Tom questions. Let's say you're thinking about buying one of these cars.
Yeah.
It's like remember the Shell Answer Man? This is the 2025 version of the Shell Answer Man.
I need to get my white coat.
See, that's next year.
Kids, you will not know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Yes.
The Shell Answer Man. Look it up.
Look up the Shell Answer Man and Platformate. If you can find those, remember that was the chemical additive that they put in Shell to give it to give you a car more mileage.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. And that's probably not true, is it?
Because, no, it's absolutely true. Platformate was the thing that the Shell Answer Man was advertising. He would go into this little spiel at the end of each one of those commercials about Shell with Platformate. Okay. Now they call it V-Power.
Oh, hey, KRISTIN, show that. It's the Shell. Wow, I kind of look like the Shell Answer Man. It's got the white hair.
Yeah, the Shell Answer Man. Is that Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah.
It does.
Was he the Shell Answer Man?
Apparently.
No. Leslie.
Yeah, it says Leslie Nielsen. 1981.
I never knew
Leslie
that.
Nielsen was not the Shell Answer Man, was
Maybe
he?
not the OG.
I don't have my glasses.
Yeah. So anyway, the Shell Answer Man was a thing. Why don't you guys move in a little closer, because I didn't bring my wide-angle lens today, unfortunately. But the Shell Answer Man was like a thing.
I'll be right back.
You even got hi KRISTIN, how are you?
Okay.
Seems like we're on the internet all the time now.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a good thing. I like being on the internet with you and Tom and all of us talking cars. Yes, the Shell Answer Man was a thing, and you even went into a Shell gas station, and they gave you like a little book that you could open it up. It would give you answers to different questions. Well, we have our version of that here with you and Tom doing tours. How do you like the show? How's it been? I noticed your second year doing this, right?
Yeah.
Is this something that
Me?
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm like down by Vinnie's armpits. Now there we go.
Okay. I'll back up a little bit. We'll really get the wide angle in. So anyway, we've given Shell enough of a plug. I guess they now call it V-Power.
Oh, yeah.
Shell makes good gasoline, though. I mean, I only put Shell gasoline in my own car. Not a plug. I'm not an influencer that gets paid by Shell.
Yeah. No,
You're
you're
like, not an ad.
Not an ad. We're not plugging Shell gasoline. I was always I used to have a Amoco, and that was supposed to be back east the best gas that you could put in a car. My dad was a Texaco and a Mobil dealer, so for me, Texaco was always free gas, and
that's the
just
best,
like
that's
food.
The best gas.
Yeah.
Free gas is the best kind of best kind of gas. You know, you could fill up the 67 Plymouth with its 20-gallon tank and go cruising with your friends all over the place.
Like $0.00.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you how much
it'd
it
probably
was.
be like 75
Oh my God!
in California anyway.
It's so hard to look sometimes at the prices of this stuff.
Here in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. It's it's expensive. However, back a few years ago, I was at the gas pump, and there was another woman at the gas pump, and she looked at me exasperated, like, "Can you believe these prices?" And she was holding a bottle of Smart Water. Okay, and I'm like, your water costs more than this gasoline.
Yeah.
Like ounce for ounce.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Smart water.
And I said, well, your water, and she did not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was probably like,
She
that's
wanted-
not what I was.
Yeah,
getting at."
she wanted me to commiserate, but I'm like, I don't know, lady, go buy an electric car. That fuel's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yep.
People tend to, that I don't know, sometimes
They
with
don't
them.
like being confronted with logic and reason.
Well,
I know.
And now, it's interesting because now I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's a thing that I've noticed called gas. I call it gas shaming. And now it seems that anybody who takes a trip back to the middle part of the country where gas is $2.90 a gallon or something like
Yeah,
that,
in
or
Texas it was
$2.50.
$2.49.
Yeah. So now the whole thing is they're putting pictures of the gas pump and the price of gas so that they can show all their friends how cheap gas is in the middle of the country. And I now call it gasoline shaming. And they're trying to make you feel bad because you have to pay $5 a gallon for gas here, or $4.90 or $4.60 or.
Well, it's because of taxes and things and cost of living and all that.
Yep.
I kind of feel like I was just at an event in Texas, and the gasoline was, of course, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And then somebody who lived in Texas said,
It's
yeah,
expensive.
but do you know what our property taxes are like? Do you
Yeah.
know? And I kind of feel like one way or another, roads need to be maintained, communities need to be, patrolled.
Yeah.
You need to have law enforcement. They're gonna get you
Either way, you end up
one
paying.
way or another.
There's
Yeah.
no free lunch,
no.
no free ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're paying one way or the other. It may look differently, but seriously, one way or the other, you're paying for the roads. You're paying for the gasoline. They're going to get you.
Yep.
Uncle
Sam.
Yeah. For a while, people who drove electric cars thought that they were getting away with something because they weren't paying gasoline tax.
Yeah.
But they figured, well, all we got to do is bump up the tabs on an electric car for a few $100, and we'll even it out.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that because electric cars also use the road. However, if you do look at that tax, it is higher than what you would pay. As far as if you are filling your car up with tax.
Right.
I personally, and I don't know how this would be enforced. I think, you at the end of the year, you go to renew your tabs and it says, oh, Tom VOELK, you drove 9,000 miles last year.
That's what California's trying to do.
Yeah.
Do it based on miles.
Yeah. And it's like, this is how far you drove. It is only fair that you drive, this
you
much.
pay this much.
And if your vehicle is excessively heavy, like
the Hummer.
like a Cadillac Escalade IQ,
Right.
which weighs 9,400 pounds.
Yeah.
Then you pay a little extra.
Yeah, if you're driving a Jetta, you should pay less.
Right.
It's a light little car, and it zips around, and you hardly use any gas at all. So
Wow, this is great. We've just solved the world's problems.
And we ain't even got to the half of it. Wait till the smart
yeah.
license plates really get hit.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but it's another. There's a room somewhere where there's a group of people, and I don't think they're either Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, whatever, but they just sit in a room and try to figure out how to piss off people that drive cars. The smart license plate is in there. They'll be able to tell everything you do
Cameras.
just by your license plate and cameras and everything.
Yeah.
You could try to beat them, but they're going to get you one way or the other.
Yep, true.
So anyway, let's talk about the good stuff. You guys are, as I said, you both are doing tours, which you can sign up for if you come to the auto show. Go to the show office or go to the website. I think you can sign up there.
Yes.
Also, can you?
Yeah, and you should sign up before you come down because they are filling. Many are filled up already.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm giving a talk on whether or not you should buy a gas-powered car, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or EV. That is show up, and that's free, and that's at 1:00. But
Instead of a
And you're doing one
TED
tomorrow
Talk.
too, right?
yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
one. If they're at 1:00 today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't get to take your tour because then I'm giving a tour.
Yeah.
I
know it's gonna
we
be
we
weird.
kind of like leapfrog. So what do
Yeah.
you talk about on your tour?
I go first I always ask if there's a specific car people want to look at, if there's, anything people are shopping for, like 3-row SUVs, minivans, plug-in hybrids, EVs, sports cars, whatever. That way everybody kind of gets a little bit of time to talk about what they want to look at. My first tour yesterday was really sweet. There was this lady who said she recently became a grandma and she wanted to buy a bigger SUV. She has a Forester, but she wanted something a little bit bigger, not a 3-row. And so we looked around, checked out different options, and I was showing her the interior cargo space because I'm like, well, I have 2 kids. These are the cars I reviewed.
Yeah.
And so these are the ones that worked really well for car seats and cargo space at a decent price, kind of thing. So it was really nice.
So,
and then, talking about sports cars and
Whereas my kids are now gone, and I would show her a Miata.
I'd go Corvette or Miata.
Yeah,
something.
You
Z4.
don't.
Something that has 2 seats and you can't fit anybody
and go
else.
Zoom zoom.
And go zoom.
You can take them one at a time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a crazy question. And you can slap me if this is an out of bounds question, but do you? I'm a fan of A Girl's Guide to Cars. That website. I'm sure you know about that website. You do too. I'm sure. Do you conduct a tour differently if there's a lot of women on a tour as opposed to, a tour with a lot of guys on it, or is it kind of a standard format across the board?
I like to do it as a standard format because I figure, if women are here, they're here for the same reasons men are, which are likely shopping for a new car. I feel like men tend to ask me more questions.
Yeah.
From like how much horsepower does it have? How many miles of gallon or, miles per gallon does it average kind of thing? They ask those kinds of questions, but then women tend to ask more questions about cargo space. Can I put a car seat in there? Will my dog ruin the back seat kind of thing?
Right.
Or is it easy to park kind of thing? So it's like, I give the tours the same way, but they tend to ask different questions, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it does actually.
Yep.
That's
I find,
exactly what I was trying to figure out.
I find the exact same way.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, men and women do shop for cars differently.
Mm-hmm. Because they care about different things.
Right. I do find men care more about image.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I have my advice to that is always, look, if you're driving your car downtown and you're trying to impress people, you don't know them. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And everybody that knows you for the goofball you are.
Yep.
So you know what? Buy the car that works for you, because you'll be happier with it. You'll keep it longer, and okay. Maybe, as a guy, maybe it is a BMW M3 that you'll be happier with.
Yeah.
But you know what? Your car is not going to really change your image.
No. And then once the euphoria wears off, then all of the flaws come up to the surface.
Right. Yeah.
It's not.
Exactly. It's last year we were here, and I thought that the ID Buzz was going to be the most incredible thing to hit the streets.
Yeah.
That we had ever seen. Since the original Volkswagen was first imported into the United States, didn't turn out that way. Yet there's a beautiful ID Buzz that's on the floor here.
It's gorgeous.
Is that one? It might be the most gorgeous car on the floor, or one of the.
Yeah.
It's certainly in the top 5.
It's dark gray over kind of a cherry red.
Yeah.
It's lovely. My wife loves that car, and she is not a car person, but she loves that car. And the only reason that she wouldn't get it is, we don't have any kids anymore.
Yeah.
It's way too big for our lifestyle. But she would buy it just to walk up to it every day and smile. And it does still have that effect on people. Everybody that goes by goes, I love that car. That, and then there's an 18 window original Volkswagen bus here.
Woodinville display over there.
Yeah, and it's a work of art.
Yeah, those. I mean, if you're last year when I had the ID Buzz, I drove it out to Leavenworth, and we ran into a bus that was a Volkswagen bus that was parked on Route 2. I turned around and I stopped and I took a whole bunch of pictures of it. The two of them sitting together, and it was really, I mean, you could see how true they were with the Volkswagen ID Buzz to to the original version. I mean, nobody wants to utter the words retro anymore, but they nailed it. Yet
now it's vintage.
Yeah.
Or heritage.
Yeah.
Heritage.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You can't get them off the dealer's lots.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, the one thing that people are all complaining about is cars are too expensive.
Yeah.
And here's some interesting insight. I was at the Kia Sportage hybrid launch, right?
Yeah.
And we all, as auto writers, kind of complain because, like many of them, Kia only had the top trim SX Prestige all-wheel drive
X Pro.
Yeah, and they were fully loaded, right? Good value at $42,000. But we asked them, and they go, "Well, this is what people buy." And we were like, "Wait, what?"
No.
And no. He said 55% of all Sportages are sold in the higher trim.
Oh.
And he said one of the problems that we have is sourcing all of the equipment for the higher trims. He goes, because that's what people want. People don't want the base model anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think I've heard this from a number of different manufacturers that, people complain that cars aren't affordable anymore. But part of the problem is that people won't settle for the base model or the mid trim anymore because
it's expensive.
Because I'm worth it. And
And that's something that came upon me yesterday when I was walking the floor. Is I walked past this Volkswagen Jetta that's 23,000 something.
The GLI.
Yeah. No, not the GLI. This was that little
base.
white base Jetta.
Yeah.
And I'm looking. I'm saying 23,000. I'm saying people are complaining that cars are expensive, but this is transportation.
The K4, the Kia K4.
Yeah, the K4.
Even
These are
at the top of the line is under 30.
cars that will get you from point A to point B. You don't have to have a luxury car.
Yeah, not luxury transportation,
right?
But the luxury of transportation.
Oh,
yeah, great.
Yes,
great.
Should be on a
we're
t-shirt.
all going to be using it. We're all going to be using that line. By the way, we're sitting at the Avance booth. I just want to thank the people from Avance. I follow them on.
Avance are great.
I follow them on Facebook, and it's a great. If you're a car enthusiast, it's a great club to belong to. It's a great group of people. They're displays that they put up here at the auto show every year. This year is Purple Rain, and so they found every purple car, I think, in the Puget Sound area, and actually maybe from Vancouver, Canada as well. And brought them here to the Lumen Field Exhibition Center. And there's probably 6, 7, 8, 10 cars that I couldn't even get into. Tom could get a shoehorn and some lubriplate and couldn't get me into the car. But there's some beautiful cars to look at here.
Yeah.
All
they're
types.
Selling really cute T-shirts.
Are they?
Yeah, they're very cool T-shirts and limited edition posters.
Yeah.
Get on down here.
Get on down.
I will say, and I don't know that you've talked about it, one of the great things about coming to an auto show is you don't have to go from dealership to dealership to dealership.
And no pressure to
You
buy.
save so much time. Also, you will see things that are off your radar screen. So, maybe you're shopping for a mid-size crossover. You'll see 3 or 4 that you went, I didn't even know they made that.
Yeah.
And that might be your new favorite car. Plus,
the Honda
cars.
Prelude.
Yes, the Honda Prelude is here. First time it's ever been on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Same with the new RAV4. Same with the new Jeep Cherokee, which is now a hybrid.
Yeah.
Same with the Outback. Toyota, I didn't even realize that they brought their 2 new electric vehicles.
Yeah, the CHR is down there, which looks to be, and again, they have it all locked up and everything, so you can't get into it and look at it. But it looks to be, has Toyota done anything wrong in the past 25 years?
Yeah, it's just like if you're thinking about buying a car, even in the next year, you will see things that you go, oh, wait, I might want to wait for that. You really do save a lot of money. it's really a great way to go.
Yeah, it
Come
is.
to the auto show. Best way to research a car.
And take public transportation down. You get off right down the block, off of the trolley. I still call it the trolley. Sorry, get off with a trolley, and you walk up the block, and you're here, and you get to take a look at a whole bunch of cars. You get to see their seminars, not seminars, but tours.
You can test drive cars.
Yeah.
You can test drive cars, which is something we talked about earlier in the show. I mean, there is I talked about Drive Revolution, and we pay we go to an event and pay and stay locked up for 2 days judging cars. You can do it for free right out here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking of just going out there and not going to Drive Revolution.
And they won't lock you up like they do lock us up.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about it because we're all in Wappa.
Yeah, well, that's why this is in the Wappa round
I
table.
was like, Drive Revolution. What is that?
Yeah.
So, let me quickly get your star of the show, which is the one that's really jumped out at you.
I think, my favorite is obviously to talk about the TRD Pro, the Toyota 4Runner.
Right.
You can get it with the built-in compressor.
Right. I love those. Yeah. The
And-
Lexus and the Toyota.
Yeah, which is funny. The Lexus doesn't have the GX 550, but, I like to talk about how much you get for your money with the TRD Pro. And
Yeah.
same thing with,
That that compressor is I think one of the trickiest things I've seen in a car.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I thought the vacuum in the Pacifica was really cool.
Yes.
And the Sienna, yeah.
Yeah, and the Sienna. But boy, I tell you, when I blew up, what did I blow up? A raft with the Toyota thing. I did a little.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody think about this? 10 years ago,
Oh, I know.
when you could
It
go
wouldn't have
to
been
the auto
hard.
supply store.
Yeah.
Or for your old people like us, when you could go to J.C. Whitney and call them up, and they'd send you a compressor.
J.C. Whitney, what's that?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
I spent like $190 on a portable compressor for my Jeep, and then the TRD Pro has one just built in.
But however, you would have to spend $60,000 on the car.
yeah,
so.
65.
Yeah, so maybe you got a better deal.
What's your star of the show?
Boy, really tough. Just the fact that there are all these new cars.
Yeah, I know.
Just there's the compressor.
See, we
Yeah,
speak and ye shall find.
that plus
You're harmonizing.
you know what? Actually, my
Boom, 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 boom.
I would say you know what? Electric Highway,
Yeah.
because they're there to educate people, and there's a lot of misinformation.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that would actually be my star of the show.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, it's a good point because there is so much stuff.
Yep.
Bad information going on around electric cars. You get
Yeah.
a chance to come here to the auto show and see it. Thank you to everybody who's participated in the show. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the chance to come down to the Lumen Field Event Center, and show you some of the cars. We'll have more footage online, bonus footage of the show and the interview with Scott will all be here. We'll start the rebroadcast at 11 o'clock. So we'll take it right from the top and go all the way through the show. Thank you to Tom, to Kristen, to Lisa, and of course to Avance for letting us use their booth once again. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch up with you next week, if the Lord's willing, and the creek don't rise right here on Drivetime Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it.
The creek don't rise.
Are they pumping up the tires?
Thank you, Vinnie.
So they don't flat spot. I guess.
Thank you, guys.